Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are at AG Automotive, or Auto Group, sorry. It's my buddy's shop. Got a DIY, I guess. It's a little bit impromptu situation. I didn't plan on doing this. The E30 decided to blow a hole in the radiator. So it's over on this side. I already semi-started taking it apart. Right where the auto trans cooler goes into it. So that decided to leak and I lost all my coolant on the freeway. I got a super cheap aluminum one off Amazon. So we'll pull it inside and go over replacing it. Alright, we got her pulled inside, ready to go. This is the radiator that I bought off Amazon. It's an Opal, or OPL, not sure how to pronounce it. I already unboxed it, it comes in better packaging than this. It's really nice quality so far from what I've seen on it. 120 bucks, Amazon, I'll put the link in the description. This was by far the cheapest aluminum one I could find. As far as like performance gains and cooling for like a track car, I'm not sure about it. But for a daily driver, and I wanted to get rid of the plastic end tanks so I could prevent further cracks. This is for a manual car, so if you have an automatic, you're gonna have to loop the automatic transmission cooler lines. So delete them basically. I'm gonna figure out how to do that. No idea how to do it yet, but once I take the radiator out, I can figure it out. Yeah, so we'll get started. First thing you gotta do is drain it. And I'm gonna jack it up because I can't reach the drain plug underneath because it's a little too low. So we'll jack it up and then drain the coolant, and then should be a fairly easy removal. There's just this sensor, your lower radiator hose, upper, the overflow, small line, and then the mount up here, and then there's a mount down on the bottom. So we'll get started by jacking it up. Alright, now we got it jacked up. All we're gonna do is start taking it out. All you gotta do is remove the upper radiator hose, the lower radiator hose, this mount up here. That's the top of the mount. That's a 10mm socket, 2 bolts. And then the only other thing you're gonna need is a flathead to remove the hoses. So that's out. This temp sensor over here has to get unplugged. And then the only thing we're left is the bottom mounts for the radiator and these auto trans cooler lines. So we'll get those taken out and pull the radiator out. Got the radiator out, completely out. The only thing we have to do is transfer these little mounts on the side and this coolant That's the only thing that has to be transferred. Be careful when you pull it out. The radiator still has a ton of coolant in it. The only thing left to figure out is how to cap these trans lines. So probably gonna take a quick trip to the hardware store and figure that out, and then we'll install. Alright, after a quick trip to the hardware store, I managed to find these, I'm trying to get it closer, these little, they're like plastic plugs. I couldn't find the bolt diameter for this, but they fit in there pretty tight. I'm gonna wind up crimping that line too, which I don't recommend if you are keeping your auto trans, but I'm gonna manual swap this anyways. I already have everything for it, so I'm just gonna crimp it for extra safe, just to make sure I don't shoot a bunch of trans fluid out of it. Again, I don't recommend that, but I'm kind of doing what I gotta do. So those are blocked off. Hopefully that'll hold, and everything for the radiator's transferred over. It's good, ready to go. So I'll finish blocking the other line and then start installing the radiator. Just exact reverse process of taking it out. Pretty simple. Alright, radiator's in, everything's hooked up. The fitment was damn near perfect. Almost OEM fitment. The fan, it's a little thicker so the fan sits a little closer, but it just drops in. Top mount goes on and it's in, and you hook up the hoses. Doesn't get much simpler than that. Now I'm just waiting on coolant. I had to order coolant because it was cheaper for me to just order it offline than get it locally, and I went with the just OEM BMW coolant because the blue's a little less corrosive than the green. So we'll wait for that to get in, and then we will fill it up and make sure it doesn't leak. Alright you guys, the coolant finally showed up. It showed up on time, 5-day shipping. That's what I paid for. I got it in 5 days. FCP Euro. Picked it up with the coolant. It was about $18 a gallon, which is, I think, the cheapest you can get it anywhere. Nice packaging it comes in and whatnot. So we're gonna start filling it back up. Some stuff I did off camera. I flushed the coolant system with distilled water. This this came out, so that's pretty nasty. I would definitely recommend that. I cleaned up the overflow bottle, so it looks all nice. As far as bleeding procedures, this is just my knowledge, but we're just gonna fill up the overflow until it stops taking coolant. Start the car, let it heat up, and then there's a little screw right here on the thermostat housing that we're gonna open when it's a little more pressurized, I think, and then just bleed the air out from there and add coolant if needed. Yeah, I think that's about it. So we'll start doing that. You're gonna need distilled water. It's 50-50 is what I'm using. So I got a gallon of distilled water and a gallon of this, and I think we should be good. If I have extra, obviously, and I needed some for the 335 too. So we will get started doing that. So we're getting her filled up. You'll see the air bubble up when you fit it in, but just kind of doing half and half as I go. Doesn't have to be an exact mix, unless you want it to. I don't know, doesn't matter to me. 50-50 is close enough. So we're gonna let that sit a second, let it get in to the system, and then we'll just keep filling it up until no more goes in. And then we'll start it and start bleeding it. And actually, it's coming out of the thermostat housing already, so we might turn it on. Alright, this is about after 15 minutes of driving. It's not even hot, but it's staying cool, didn't overheat, holding coolant. Yeah, it works great. Alright, you guys, that pretty much sums up the whole project. Takes about an hour total, I would guess. Super easy install. Everything works great. It's all bled. No overheating or anything. I drove it a little longer. Yeah, looks great. Definitely beats that old beat up Radiator that I think was the original. I forgot to mention the bleeder screw on the thermostat housing is a 7mm. Yeah, I definitely recommend flushing your coolant system again. All this dirt and nasty stuff came out when I did that, so it was definitely a good move. What else? Yeah, that's about it. Easy install. If you found the video useful and you liked it, leave a like, subscribe. There'll definitely be more E30 videos and 335 videos in the future, so see ya.